Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to go over 5 things or 5 reasons why your players aren't enjoying your D&D campaign. Stick with it. First up, first reason is combat. Are you throwing way too much combat at your players, or sometimes not enough? Now, the way I look at combat is I usually do combat is around anywhere between, I'd say 50 to 60% of my sessions. Maybe anywhere between like 30 to 60% of my session is combat. I try not to do over 60 and I try not to do under 30. There have been sessions where I've done only combat, or there's been sessions where there's been no combat. It is totally up to you to read your players. But I know for a fact that if it's only combat, your players are going to hate it. It's going to drag on. You're going to dislike it as a DM because you're having to roll a ton. But if it's a no combat, some players are really there for what I call beer and pretzels D&D, which is sit down, kill some monsters, go home kind of thing. So you need to read your players and figure out how much combat is perfect for your game table. Moving on to number 2. Role-playing. Now, some people don't like role-playing. Some people are really good at role-playing and love it. Some people are good at role-playing and aren't good at it. But are you having enough roleplay? Is there story involved in your campaign? Do your players know why they're going places for certain things? Or at least will they know in the future why they are going somewhere for certain things? Also, cut my finger with the bread knife. But anyway, is there story involved? Are you role-playing? Are you actually making up shopkeepers when they go into shops, or you're just like, yeah, you can find the stuff, whatever you need? Also, same thing with this. You got to always read your table. But this could be another reason why your players aren't enjoying your game. Are you being suspenseful? Are you, when they face a monster, outright telling them what kind of monster it is? Or are you describing the monster and having them fight it, maybe revealing at the end? But that is another way you could build suspense. Another way you could build suspense is not always giving out all the information. So instead, when someone rolls an insight check, instead of saying, yes, he's lying, or you can definitely tell that he's being untruthful, you just go, something about him, just something about the way he's speaking right now is irking you. Or, seems honest. Or, man, he's just hard to read. I think he's hard to read, or she's hard to read, they're hard to read. I think that right there is the best phrase that DM can use on a low insight roll. Because one, it doesn't say that they're lying or being truthful, so they're hard to read. Just hard to read, man. I think that's the best thing a DM can do. On to number 4. 4 is, are you rewarding your players proportionately to the challenges they are facing? Now, I'm not saying you have to keep throwing gold and magic items at your players, but are you actually rewarding your players with lore information, with magic items? Are you truly rewarding your players? This is also, as a DM, you should know how many rewards you can give your players before you make them broken, right? The campaign that I'm currently running right now has a little more magic items than the last campaign that I ran, but it still has enough. And I throw in a magic item. I throw in I say a magic item because it could be like a potion of healing or something like that. I'm throwing them in a little more sparingly right now. A little bit more right now because they are pirates right now. They're doing a pirate arc. And it makes sense to give them more loot or booty because they are pirates, when down the line maybe they won't get as much, they'll just be getting other things. So yeah, on to the last reason. Are you challenging your players enough? Now, I ran a session with my friend Todd and my friend Dustin, and at the end of it, Todd looked at me and said, "Man, I didn't have that much fun today." And I said, man, what didn't you like?" And he goes, "The fights weren't challenging enough. They didn't test me." He goes, "I like it when we're fighting," and he goes, "I like it when I see my hit points get low." He goes, "I like that thrill of, oh my gosh, this is a hard fight," and then coming out on the other side, beating it. He said it just makes him feel good as a player, as a hero. See, now I know that Todd really likes hard fights, and I know that Dustin, on the other hand, Dustin is a guy that doesn't like to see his hit points drop. He hates seeing his hit points drop. But both of them know that a hard fight and a challenging fight is so much more rewarding the fight itself, not even including the loot, after the fight is over. So you need to make sure that you are giving your players hard enough challenges. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.